Good morning, everybody. My name is Mackie. Okay, so yesterday the LEC's regular season has finished. Congratulations to all the 8 teams that have made it, the usual ones, and probably the other ones that nobody expected them to make it, but here you are. Congratulations, that's incredible. Pat yourself on the back, you earned it. Normally I will have to do my good, bad, and ugly for this week, but unfortunately I've realized since this is probably the end of the regular season, I don't think this is necessary. I will give the ugly to probably the bottom 2 teams. I give the bad to the Koi team, but they actually didn't make it, so nobody bothers. And probably G2 for trying to experiment a little bit and then nothing. And then I have to give the good to Astralis, SK, BDS who actually made it, and Vitality becoming the top dog, which is something they have not done in their LEC, in their European League of Legends history. First time they've been like top dog in like a while. And of course, we will talk about like the playoff bracket just a little bit, but not too much. But that will be like a coming up during the week before the Saturday and Sunday matches, best of 3, mind you, and different patches on 13.3 in the patch notes. Before I'm gonna settle this all around here, I need every Fnatic fan to just, listen to me. And if you don't listen, then that's fine. If you don't want to listen to me or don't want to listen to anybody else, that's fine. I don't care, So I just wanted to address this. I just wanted to address this to every Fnatic fan that is watching this right now. This has been coming for a long time. And yesterday, the bottom has already fell out. Your reputation as a European powerhouse is over. You are no longer the top dog with G2 Esports. You are now everybody else's dog. Do you know how embarrassing it is for an organization like Fnatic with all the history and all the pedigree that they have in Europe to get absolutely beaten by SK? If you look at the bot lane, you have the greatest bot laner ever playing Xayah versus Caitlyn Lux. And we all know what's going to happen. If Caitlyn Lux gets way ahead, game's gone. Game's literally gone. And guess what? Games was gone like about 3 or 4 minutes. And it was over after that. The whole game was over after that. And then we saw Razak and Humanoid not doing any much. Wander played, can I say decently well? I said decently well, but overall, the whole thing was too late. It was too little too late. To say that Fnatic have finished below Astralis of all teams, a team that I put them as D tier. It's considered the most embarrassing, most horrible thing that has ever happened to an organization ever. Even horrible than their CSGO teams. I bet you CSGO, the Fnatic CSGO is bad right now, but at least they're not as worse as what is going on. And I think this downfall has been coming for the last 3 years right now. 2021, they had to literally scrap their way into getting Worlds and then finish bottom of their group. Last year, they had to literally rely on Vitality choking on their own bones to even make it to the playoffs. And then have to literally scrap their way to make it Worlds only to finish last again. This year, they didn't make it. They didn't make the top 8. Forget top 6, they can't even make top 8. That is the most embarrassing part about it. The fact that this Fnatic team that I'm gonna say a little bit average, cannot even become average when it tries. 2-7. 2-7. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe that a team like this is 2-7. Maybe 4-5, maybe 5-4, they're fine, but 2-7. The good news is at least you have Excel, but Excel put up more effort against Vitality yesterday than Fnatic have in the entire split. You, organization, have to be embarrassed on yourself. You Fnatic as an organization should be embarrassed of yourself. Imagine your families right now watching this. All Fnatic fans are supposed to be embarrassing themselves. You deserve this. You absolutely deserve this elimination. And you know what? I am not surprised about the subreddit that is going on. I look at Fnatic subreddit yesterday, and my God, I don't think it's a mess, but I can tell you right now, it almost felt like defeatism in there. And I think they mentioned one person who was involved with this, and that is Dardos. Dardos, you need to resign. Now listen, I am not a Fnatic fan, but I can tell you what, as a fan of a team that has gone through crap the last 10 years, I can tell you this. It is not the players' fault. Some of them, of course, it's the players' fault, of course. Reckless did have to apologize on Instagram, of course, last night, and he had to address it, so I can sympathize with him. He didn't realize, he didn't, he didn't know that this thing has gone bad. When he mentioned that his team did not do well in scrims, you know it's a problem. You know it's a problem. And they didn't even do one thing to fix it. They didn't look at the squad and say, "Oh my God, the scrims are doing bad. Maybe we can change a little bit. Maybe we change the strategy around it." They didn't do nothing. They just do nothing about it. Think about it, Fnatic fans. If you go on like LOL Gamepedia or any kind of like website or anything, when do you see them play like Caitlyn Lux or Lucian Nami or Zeri Yumi? They haven't played any of those meta champions. Like none. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Upset is better than Upset is better than Reckless. I mean, how could you, Fnatic management, kick out one of the best bot laners, one of the best AD carries we have in years, to be playing a guy who has not performed well on K-Corp, one of the best teams in the LFL, and on G2, one of the best teams in the world, and you decided, hey, let's pair it up with a rookie support who only played like 2 good games in Worlds. For a guy who's been there for 5 years? Are you kidding me? Now I get it, Hylissang, everybody was thinking Hylissang is washed, and maybe Hylissang needs a new different atmosphere. Guess what Hylissang did with Carzzy? They died 3rd least in this split. Now I think in Mind Lions should get like 40 deaths a split, and I was wrong. I can admit it. I'm gonna put my hands up. I was wrong. I was wrong about the bot lane for Mad Lions. They played decently well. And Niski, my God, first of all, my hearts go out to all the people in Turkey. The earthquake was absolutely suffering, and I cannot believe this is happening, but my heart go out to all the people in Turkey. But Niski, my goodness, former Fnatic mid, is doing better than you. Adam, your rookie of the split from your days at Fnatic, are doing much better than you. And his BDS team is going to playoffs. If you are Fnatic right now, you have to feel so frustrated. You have to feel like you wanted to burn your jersey down. You wanted to just take off your jersey right now and burn it to the ground. And don't even bother even supporting Fnatic anymore. I had a guy in subreddit told me that he threw a television in front of his family and his kids crying. And he's no longer supporting Fnatic. That is how significant this moment is. This is the worst day to be a Fnatic fan. Last night was the worst day to be a Fnatic fan ever. Ever. Worse than the World's performances, worse than losing in finals, worse than anything else. And you know what? You had it coming. You had it coming for years, and you did not even talk. You did not even address about it. And now the bottom has fallen out. And now G2 are probably going to win another split. Koi is probably going to win another split. In fact, here's the thing. Since the LEC has been rebranded, only 3 teams have won the LEC. G2, Koi, and Mad Lions. You haven't even won the whole thing. And now teams that, even though they might get beaten in a best of 3, have done much better than you guys. Have done much better, have improved much better. That utilize Challenger Series players and rookies from ERL better than you guys. It is horrible. It is horrible. Now I did mention Dardo. I did mention Dardo. Dardo was responsible for the Origin team playing so well, and then he ran Origin down to the ground, and then reformed to Astralis, of course. And then he was the one that took this H2K team, the team that made semi-finals of Worlds, and then ran them to the ground. And now he is running down the biggest organization to ever grace League of Legends, the Season 1 World Championship. Yeah, I know, that Season 1 World Championship was kind of like a fluke here. But Season 1 World Champions, one of the most decorated teams in all of League of Legends, to the ground. And how do you feel? And you're thinking he's gonna be the one manager? You're thinking his tweet is saying I'm gonna make the Fnatic team better in 2023. The same team from 2023 will not be the same last year. I mean, come on, are you kidding me? He should be gone right now. He should be fired. Razok, humanoid. Well, I'm not saying Razok humanoid, but Razok is humanoid, and maybe Reckless and Rux, and maybe the manager has to be gone. If you are Sam if Sam is watching this right now, he should go down, he should fly get on the first plane from where he is right now, maybe Thailand or Bali or any place. Get on the first plane now and fire him. Fire him right now. Do not even talk about his reasons. Do not even terminate his contract. Because this is incredibly embarrassing for an organization as well. You know how much viewership you have lost because of this? You know how many sponsorships you have lost? The sponsorships right now are absolutely in tears right now. BMW, Heinz, even Jack Link's Jerky, it's literally crying right now. They are shocked because they cannot believe this is happening to them. An organization with so much pedigree and so much history being eliminated before the playoffs. Like, what is this? Yes, I know TSM is in a bad rut right now, and all the reasons why TSM is in bad right now, but at least TSM is decent. I mean, TSM could fall down, but at least TSM have 2 wins. They're probably going to have another win. Just think about it. TSM is going to have more wins in this split than you guys have in the entire winter split. How do you feel right now? How do you feel as a Fnatic fan? How do you feel as a Fnatic fan waking up this morning and learning that your team cannot even make it to the dance? Like, you deserve some shame. You deserve some shame. You all deserve some shame. Now, let me grant it. Now, I'm going to tell you something. SK, BDS, and Astralis earned their spot. Yeah, I know. The new format, 8 teams, kind of a little bloated, but they earned their spot. Look at the opponents that SK beat. There were no, easy chows. There were no nothing. They just beat G2, Vitality, XL, and your team, Fnatic. They were not flukes. And let's be honest, I kind of roasted their jerseys, of course, because their jerseys kind of but their team was decent. Exakick was great. Certos was good. Markoon was okay. That SK team was pretty good. We will find out, of course, in the best of 3s, but I can tell you the SK team was pretty good. Astralis, they were fine. They were not great, but they got the wins they needed. They needed to pull off incredible wins. And Finn actively, literally carried his team to victory in those 2 games. And that's what got them into the playoffs. And BDS, they were good. They were decently good. Their team scrimmed with the main roster and beating them. And then they put Fate in their rookie roster from the LFL. And now here they are in their first playoffs ever in their organization's history. All 3 teams that nobody was expecting them to do good. I'd have BDS and Astralis as D tier. And now here they are in the playoffs. Look, I can roast about XL, but XL, the way this team has been constructed, I was thinking XL could be a decent team, but then they failed me miserably. And I think they will have to do some changes, and that's fine. But Fnatic, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about this team? Because this team is not going to go all the way to 2023 with this. It's time for a rebuild. It's time for a full-on Manchester United, Eric Ten Hag rebuild. And it's going to be painful. It's going to be painful. It's going to break a lot of fans' hearts. But I'm going to tell you this. These fans would rather see this team beat G2 in the finals of a split rather than see this team finish bottom 8. Or bottom 2, actually. This cannot go on like this. And I'm not a Fnatic fan, but I can tell you this. I've been a Manchester United fan for years, and my team has not won a Premier League title in a decade. And trust me, I can say this. The frustration, the anger that I have right now, it's the same that every Fnatic fan is going through right now. You're angry about this team. Forget about Fnatic not winning the split. Forget about Fnatic winning Worlds or anything. Forget about it. Your team cannot be decent. We just asking Fnatic to be decent. And if you cannot be decent, and if you cannot beat the teams of SK, BDS, or even Astralis, then you do not call yourselves best team in Europe. Period. No matter how much money you throw on Reckless, no matter how much money you throw on Wonder, you can never be great ever again. That title is gone right now. G2 has took the title as best team in Europe and ran with it. The second best, who knows? Maybe it's Vitality. Maybe it's Mad Lions, of course. But your reputation as best team in Europe is just gone right now. It's gone. And how to redeem yourself is going to be another question. I cannot wait for the spring split, and I cannot wait for what's going on in the Fnatic backstage to find out what they're going to do about it. Because this is the saddest day to be a Fnatic fan ever in League of Legends history. And I don't know how they can recover from this. If you're a Fnatic fan right now and if you're watching this and you don't want to do Noir, fine, I don't care. I can't blame you. I cannot blame you, but look at performance, look at yesterday's games, look at the performances in the last 8 games and tell me. In fact, look at the last 2 years with Fnatic and tell me, am I right? Tell me if this Fnatic team had to literally scrap their way to make themselves relevant, only for now the bottom has finally fallen out. It's embarrassing. It is embarrassing, and you and every Fnatic player has to be ashamed of themselves. Reckless literally nearly cried on stage. Sky, 5 years ago, delivered 2 pentakills against G2 in the finals in Sweden, his hometown Sweden. And now he's literally nearly crying in his studio in Berlin, seeing his once precious team get eliminated. Now, of course, some of it is his fault. He admitted it on Instagram, of course. Some of it is his fault. But the team around him, the organization around him, it's just not good. And I think either he needs to go or the entire team needs to go. But either way, this is not working. This is just not working. Yeah, so that's Fnatic. 17 minutes. Jeez, that is a long time, but that's just Fnatic. Let's just say the rest of the teams that made it in, it's incredible. Vitality had to go do like 2 marathon of a game to actually make it to the playoffs. 53 minutes of that last game. Jesus, that took a life out of me. Like literally took the life out of me. Mad Lions, second team, I think they would do well. The bottom lane was incredible. The top lane was really good. Jungle, mid, as I said, jungle mid was really important. And Loya once again improved a great performance. SK, I mean, whew. SK top 4 was not in my cards, but damn, what a performance by this team. I doubted them a couple of weeks, 2 weeks ago, but they performed pretty well in order to get there. G2, they did okay. They did the bare minimum and they did fine, but G2, can you please, the draft that you did with Swain in the mid, just don't do it, okay? Save that drafting thing for best of 3s and best of 5s. Do not do it in a regular season game, please. Okay. The idea was there, G2. The idea was there, but it's not it. It's not it. BDS making it pretty good. Koi. Oh, Koi. Well, look, you made it there. You made it to the playoffs, and that's all that matters. But I prefer what's better than you. A team that has won the split should be better than 4 and 5, which is fine, but I prefer better. And good news is that you are good at these best of 3s, best of 5s things. And once you get yourself in order, once your team, plays well, then, that will be the crux of it. But I prefer better than a 4 and 5 finish in there. But of course, best of 3s, it's different. Best of 5s will be different. New packs will be different. So I wanted to see what Koi can do in these best of 3 scenarios. And I think they'll have more viewership than Fnatic games this year. Just saying. Heretics, they made it pretty decent. Okay, up and down, but you know what? They made it. That's all that matters. Astralis, goodness gracious. I mean, I doubted you in my rankings. The Dracos and Kajol doubted you in the Euphoria rankings. I mean, many people doubted you. But you made it. Bare minimum, but you made it. And you earned it. And you know what? Hats off to you. Hats off to Finn. Hats off to 113, Dayor. Hats off to the whole team, and hats off to the organization. I mean, let's be honest, the Charlottes are going into the year thinking that if the Charlottes cannot perform well, maybe they'll give their spot to K-Corp. And they have to literally fight for their lives in order to do it. So the fact that they made their playoffs for the first time ever as a rebrand, it's tremendous for them. And I hope there'll be some growth in that team. Not just for winter, but for the rest of the split, of course. XL, disappointed, of course. 1-8. This is a team that everybody was thinking, maybe like a good team, decent team making the playoffs. 1-8, absolute disappointment. Like you, Fnatic, two British organizations getting knocked out. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You are ashamed of yourselves. And I think XL needs a rebuild as well. So I feel like XL and Fnatic needs gigantic rebuilds. I think XL can have a little mini rebuild. Fnatic needs a gigantic rebuild. You know, that's pretty much it. Do I have all the playoff teams? Kind of. I think I did. Yeah, I think I did have the playoff teams. So Saturday will be Group A. I think let me see if I can remember this. It's hard, but I have to go back. It's Vitality, Heretics. I remember one game. And then Mad Lions, Astralis in the other group, Group B. And then G2 would take on jeez. It's so hard to remember. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Okay, let's see. Okay, on my phone here. Let's just look at the matches. League of Legends, LEC Winter 2023. It's coming up now. And by the way, Bo, Exakick, and Niski 4 MVP regular season matches each. It's gonna be hard to pick a MVP winner, but I'm gonna give it to Bo for really changing the team, for really changing this Vitality team. Because remember, Vitality was bad last year, but Bo has elevated them. Even if his performances were bad, the fact that Bo was 0-10 and still make an impact play to give Vitality the victory is just incredible. And the entire Vitality organization should be amenable for their rebuild of this team. Because last year, the last two matches, they could have lost those two matches. But Perks with the Elder Steel, Photon was incredible, Gragas plays. The mental fortitude of this Vitality team is amazing. Can they sustain that in a best of 3 though, and a best of 5? That would be fine now, but I had to give Vitality a lot of credit for rebuilding and dominating one. I put them way up there. So it's Koi, SK, Heretics, Vitality in Group A. And then Group B is Astralis, G2, Mad Lions, BDS. Heretics and Vitality and Koi, SK will be on Saturday. And then Mad Lions, BDS, and Astralis, G2 will be on Sunday. And then I think Monday is going to be the rest of the best of 3s. So it's going to be a little bit of difference. I will, probably analyze all the teams coming up. I can't say anything because if I say one thing, I may not do it. So I will probably do another video, hopefully this week, in order to talk about it. If I don't, well, I'm going to tell you this. This has been a crazy, crazy winter split regular season with all the crazy things that are going to happen. But of course, this is going to be on a different patch, different format. How will the teams adapt to it? How will the teams adjust to it? How will the teams, go from game to game, with MSI on the line? Because if you win this split, you are guaranteed MSI, of course. So how will these teams will play different? That will be a big question. That will be a huge question. Well, anyways, that should do it. That should be my video. If you like the video, go like it. If you want to subscribe to the video, go to subscribe to the video. And if you want to do comment about it, feel free to do it. And if you want to voice your opinions about Fnatic, or just say that maybe you don't get it or anything, free feel to do that. I won't mind. I will see you all later. Have a good day again.